Good morning, everybody, or maybe it's good afternoon, depending on what time I normally come into your room for enrichment. But Mrs. Stitt back with you today. I'm glad to be back with you on the screen. I just want to tell everybody how proud I am of you and all of the work you've been turning in, whether it's your scientific thinking or your flexible thinking. You are right on track and you're giving it your all each and every week, whether I'm in your room or it's an e-lesson. It's so fun to see what you've been doing. So today I want you to give it your very best effort again. And your teacher's going to be coming around and she's going to be looking for extraordinary work today. Today is a slinky thinking kind of day, so we're going to be doing our creativity lesson. She will be writing your name down in her folder if she sees some extraordinary work from you. Remember, detail, 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 and thinking differently and unique. And then maybe she'll take a snapshot of your work and send it to me, or keep it and put it in my box, and I would love to see what you're up to. So today's goal is we're going to be looking at the world from a different perspective, meaning looking at things in a different way, flexibility in our thinking, using a wide variety of thinking and letting our mind go in a lot of different directions and not just getting trapped in that little box. Flexible thinking, coming up with a big brainstorm of ideas. Elaboration is adding those details. And you know my three favorite words, detail, detail, detail. I can just hear you all saying it right now. Elaboration in your drawings and your writing. And then seeing things from a different perspective, looking at things different from a different point of view. If you were an ant and you were teeny tiny, how would things look so different from how they look right now as a human being? But we're going to take a different spin on that, and how would things look if you were a giant? When we read the story Much Bigger Than Martin. It's a story by Stephen Kellogg. He also drew the pictures, so he's very talented, isn't he? Have you ever felt like you wanted to be bigger? Maybe you're the younger brother or sister in your family and you wish that you were bigger like your siblings. Or maybe you wished you were bigger on the football field or on the basketball court. Why would you want to be bigger? Would it make life easier? What would you do if you woke up bigger tomorrow? Not just taller, but bigger, like a giant. How would the world look different? How would it change your life? Would it make it better? Would it make it easier? What if you woke up tomorrow and you were giant size? In this story, it's about two brothers, and there's a little brother and a big brother, and there's a little bit of conflict, meaning there's a little bit of trouble in the story. Let's see how they solve that problem and how they use their imagination throughout the story. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the story.
Much Bigger Than Martin. Story and pictures by Stephen Kellogg. Sometimes it's fun being Martin's little brother. I hate it when he says, "Let's form a line. The biggest is first, and the smallest is last." Then he makes me play stupid games. Walk the plank, carry all of the snow equipment up to the top of the road through the deep snow to Mount Martin, of course. Tie them to a pole when they're playing outside, playing games. And I bet he never met his little brother win. When we go to the beach with his friends, he says, "You're too small to swim to the raft." Look at his big brother and all the boys out on the raft in the water, and Martin's too tiny to reach to get all the way out there. And when he cuts the cake for our dessert, he says the biggest person gets the biggest piece. That's a big piece of chocolate cake, and we just got a little bitty sliver. Not very fair. Some of his friends were there. I was playing his imagination. And this is what he would look like if he kept growing bigger and bigger than his brother. Big enough to stick him in his pocket and get a little tiny kitty cat up on his shoulder. He's a giant. Then I tried wiring myself and stretching myself. That didn't work, did it? Look at stretch, he didn't grow. Wired himself like a plant to see if that would work. No, he's still the same height. Then I remembered that Grandpa said apples make you grow. So we went to the farmer's market and he bought a big bag of apples. I told Martin my plan. He said I'd grow into a giant apple. So he's thinking if he eats all those apples, he's going to turn into a big giant. And Martin said, no, he'll just turn into a giant apple. And he said he put me in a circus to become famous. You'll be sorry, Martin, I said. When I'm a giant, I'll grind your bones to make my bread. And there he is. He's caught his brother in a net. He's taken him to the factory. And he's grinding him up. All of those gears to use his bones and those raisins to make raisin bread. I don't know if I'd want to eat a piece of that, would you? I ate every apple, but I didn't grow at all. It didn't work. All those apple cores, I just felt sick. When Martin screamed, dinner time, I said, get out or you'll get bitten by a sick giant. Mom heard me groaning. She said, why did you eat all those apples? So I could grow bigger than Martin, I told her. Much bigger. As big as a giant. Dad said, I don't want to be bigger than Martin. So I can swim to the raft with all the kids, I said. Look how big he is here. It wouldn't take him long to leave the shore to get to the raft with the big kids. So he can give him his own peek out right. And I got the cake so that I can get the biggest part. And I can give Martin just one of the crumbs. What an imagination that is. And make the basket so easily that Martin's friends will never laugh at me again. It's big enough to reach over the garage and just drop it right down in the basket. Being a giant scared the dog and some of the friends away too. Mom said if you were a giant, you'd be too big to fit in the house. She's right. Look, you can't even squeeze through the door. Besides, said Dad, when Martin was your age, he was just your size. You were wearing his old blue pajamas. So this was Martin as Martin grew. And here's Henry. Henry's totally growing. He's getting to be about the same size as his brother. He's got a little ways to go. When Martin came to bed, he said, sorry you feel like a rotten apple. Then he said, tomorrow I'll give you a surprise and I'll tell you a secret. Maybe it's a nice big brother after all. The surprise was a new basket. One that Martin could play with and it was just his size. When I was your age, said Martin, I couldn't reach the high basket either. So here's Martin's basket. This is for Henry, just a little bit shorter so it's easier for him to reach. So Martin and I were friends again. Until the next day, because he said, let's play ape hunt. I'll be the hunter because I'm bigger, and you can be the little ape who gets captured. I said, no, that doesn't sound like much fun. Besides, I'm making something in the garage. Any ideas what Henry might be making in the garage? Something to help him out just a little bit? He made himself a pair of stilts. I don't know if you've ever walked on stilts before, but it takes a lot of balance. It definitely makes you taller, Martin's brother Martin now, isn't he? The end. I hope you like the story. Stay tuned for our activity.
All right, so your activity for today is to tell, draw, or write what you would do if you were way bigger or even a giant. So you're going to use your imagination, picture yourself way bigger or as a giant, and picture yourself doing something in giant mode in a land that is just normal like it is today, but you're a giant. You're bigger than everything else. What could you do? My friend, Miss Matsubara, had a really cool idea. Her idea was that if she was a giant, she would eat watermelon like little Skittles, and she'd pop them into her mouth by the handful. She'd be so big that she'd just go into that watermelon patch, scoop up a whole handful of watermelons, and pop them into her mouth like Skittles. I love that idea. And what if you used cars as roller skates? You'd get wherever you were going so fast and have so much fun doing it. My friend Miss Farmer came up with this slide that she made, and I thought that was really cool, and I wanted to share that. Or if you were bigger than normal, you could use a tree to brush your teeth. And then what kind of toothpaste would you use? How about soap from the car wash? Another really clever, creative idea. So your teacher is going to give you a piece of paper, and you are going to picture yourself as a giant doing something. How would it make your life better? How would it make your life more fun? Draw yourself as a giant and tell me what you're doing. Second graders, I would love it if you could do a picture and write and tell about it, both. Kindergartners, a picture would be great, and then stretch out those words if you want to write to go with it, or your teacher will help you narrate what you're writing, or what you're drawing, Second graders, if you have extra time, maybe you could make a slide with importing pictures like you see here or here, and then a text box. That's just up to your teacher how much time she wants to give you. But I'm really, really looking forward to seeing what you do when you are a giant. So enjoy the activity, and your teacher will share your extraordinary work with me. Have a great day. Remember to be creative. Detail, detail, detail.